to my village life. What? No insults. Be civil. Alright, guys. So welcome to another live. Oh, I play when you're video. Oh, come over home now. Oh, see now. I want you to show you my video. Maybe some come on, I don't know. Maybe I joke. Con là gì? Đây vì gì tồn tại gì? Enggak. Oh iya sih ya. Oke. Coba dia mereka lucu apa? Saya pikir. Coba enggak. Ini beli lama. Nya mele cho ni te kla go ye inchi nya chi kata do ni na po bo chi ba ra gara bo ko chi kata ho ho kwa ho abetia ta bo lo ba le chi bo yo ho ho la ba kata le ye fo apa le tu enggak. Oh, ya video. Dia pakai yang mau ini film. I'm not sure I did it too. I did. I thought it was on private, and I'm like, oh, maybe you've done this again. You've done this again.
Hey, aku hả?
Hả?
Là nó mà. Aku hỗ trợ aku là nó.
Mana lama vô rồi?
Aku nó. Aku là nó.
Em bây giờ lớn mà.
Aku bố.
Mana nào?
Aku pula. Aku là nó.
Còn nó phi đó là chơi lớn. Nó free. Oh, free. What's good, everybody? Welcome to my life freedom field.
Mà cho.
Aja juga. Donim. Na vale tu. Kami buat video mula vale tu. Padu benamu. Padu bagude. Pasti dah bagude. Hello. Doing. Emang tambah blik lah. Balik lah berplay.
Yeah, ini orang tu berapa? Lani yo, bayi bau.
Dah buka itu. Itu. Ayo buka.
Asam.
Ada, ni ya fi, nyo fi tahu apa aja. Love you, bakala shamaya. Eva baga. Yeah, I shall go a drone play. Davia. Oh. My people, Donnie, how are you? Oh, this one day. Yeah, babadi. Okay, papi that one. Vivian, how are you? Yeah.
Ella no. Ella se queda no. Ella.
Vivian, what's up?
No.
Free link. Free BIK. DVM, I'm fine. You're looking good. Thank you, DVM. It's a filter. It's the filter, baby. How are you? Are you in the office? The last time you told me you were in the office and watching YouTube. And you were like, your boss is coming, so you have to hide. Are you in the office? Mommy! Oh! Wanga. Never got that back. Okay. We just finished harvesting. Why? Friday you don't go to work? Why in Kenya Fridays you don't go to the office? You said today is Friday. I don't understand. Here in Ghana on Fridays, like our working days are from Monday to Friday, so I don't understand what you mean by it's Friday. Unless no, we go to work, but you can sneak out early. Okay, it depends on the kind of work. It depends on the kind of work that you can sneak out. I think mostly those who are working in government centers, maybe they are the people that can sneak out like that. Non-banking government institutions, they are the people who can sneak out. And but if you are working somewhere like, hi, Zamin. If you are working somewhere like in the bank, there's no way you can sneak out. You yourself, you don't even have the time to see you are sneaking out. Yes, it depends on the work. I should stop guessing. I'm not guessing. It depends. If you want to tell me, fine. If you want to tell me, fine. No problem. If you don't, cool. Beautiful woman, hey. Young Nebula. Oh, Nebula, howdy. Cool black potato. Cool black potato. A black grandma. I got that one. Even. Zamin. You like me because of this one that I'm doing. Anybody who come and tell me that, oh, you are, that corn is brown like you. Oh, okay. Says you're a wife material just because you are doing this petty chores. I'm like, is that what you base on to marry somebody? Then you have a long way to go. You're just doing normal chores like this, then you got a long way to go. That corn, okay. Yeah, me too. This is what I'm doing. For me, I'm jobless. I'm jobless. Me and YouTube are like 5 and 6. So it's been a long time I've done something like this. We used to do this when I was younger. My parents used to own a big barn of maize. We owned a big barn. You said you know it. You know it. You know what? You know what? I'm not working. I am not. That this is work. YouTube is even more work than you can ever imagine. Any job online even involves a lot of dedication that you can ever imagine in your entire life. UVM sneaking out to watch YouTube live. Thank you anyways. I know that I'm not sitting right, but if I want to sit like, I don't know, like this, I don't just know how to sit. As I open, that means I'll turn my back to this thing. That is why. I don't want to be showing things. You know, some people wish content, some people who do kind of like travel vlogs, they wish, oh, I could go out and film this and come back today, edit it and post it today. Oh my god, that is so impossible. So you're laughing. I have to sit well before I start showing things, you know. Before I start showing things, I don't want to start showing stuff. Shall I tell you a story? Should I tell you a story? YouTube calls it Periscope videos. What is the meaning? Which video? Which one are you talking about? You DVM, I can see sometimes you can be very naughty.
An hour.
Hello, Bayron. I should Google what? I should Google what? So let me tell you a story. The title of the story is Happy Thank God It's Friday. You future wifey. Amen. I praise you. Welcome. The title of the story is I left my husband to my pastor boyfriend. I left my husband to my pastor boyfriend. I'll tell you the story and then you will give me the lessons that you have learned from that story. Okay. Even me, I didn't know, just learned it recently. Please, no kids, go Periscope. Let me tell me the story. Yes. Eblia. Eblia. Okero la via. I should tell you the story. Man, I brace. Should I tell you the story? The title of the story is I left my husband for my pastor boyfriend. Oh my God. I left my husband for my pastor boyfriend. Oh, you guys say you are listening. Okay. This is a real story, but I'm not going to use the real names. I'll use fictional names, okay? But okay, you will just assume, okay, and use, because I want it to be anonymous. Maybe those of you who have heard of the story will know what it is about. Okay, so once upon a time, there lived a lady in an African country. This country is referred to as the Giant of Africa. A very beautiful one for that matter, very beautiful lady in this occupation as an actress, you know, fair in complexion. It happened that in 2012, it's just a short story, right? In 2012, yeah, according to the lady herself, she told the story herself, but I don't want to mention the name. According to her, in 2012, she started dating her boyfriend, who was at a time living in South Africa, right? She started dating the boyfriend, but she realized that the boyfriend was like very toxic and always talking on her, and always during the relationship the boy was even like beating her, according to beating her. So but then the guy was very rich, okay, very rich, provided her with everything, but then she didn't love the guy, okay? She was not in love with the man. So eventually they broke up. When they broke up, yeah, she was going about her normal duties as an actress and everything, working, living her life. And yeah, fast forward in 2017, she met this gentleman in one of the states in Nigeria. I can't remember the states. Oh, I mentioned it. Oh God, why did I mention? I said giants of Africa. God, I didn't want to mention. In one of the states, okay. So when they met, the guy was a very prominent person at the time. She didn't even know he was a pastor, he was anything. They just met, and then the guy sent his bodyguards to go call her for him. Okay, they talked, and the guy was like, okay, I like you. They exchanged numbers and everything, and then a relationship started from there. A relationship started from there. So they started dating, and fast forward in 2019, okay, they started dating. She started dating that pastor friend, that pastor boyfriend. It's true story. Have you heard it from somewhere? Started dating that pastor friend. But that pastor friend is very manipulative, very, very manipulative pastor. Okay, she started going to his church and everything. They started talking. They could do stuff on their phone, like basically everything the pastor wanted to do, she involved her. She could in front of her discuss things with the church members. She was like, some of the church members knew, or she could discuss what they were doing in church with her. When he was ill, she could get prescriptions from her own doctor for the pastor. You get it? So you can imagine how close they were. Sometimes pastors sometimes preach to us, when you are sick, just pray and do this, it will go. But then and that pastor in fact was preaching those kind of things. But then when after preaching, he will now call this lady, oh, my back, I'm feeling pains, body pains, can you get me this? And the lady will now use his doctor to prescribe medicines for this pastor, and then he will take the medicine. But when he comes to church now, he will come and preach that, please, when you are sick, just pray. Just pray. All right, so 2019, okay, the boyfriend that she broke up with, okay, came back and was like, he wanted to marry her. But the lady says she is not in love with the boyfriend. She's not in love with that boyfriend because, according to her, the boyfriend is very toxic and she doesn't want anything to do with her. But then he presented a lot of gifts to his family and even bought her a car. And so for that matter, the mother of this lady was like, you just give it a try. Like they were pressuring her to get married. You just give it a try. You may never know. Maybe in the recent past, okay, not maybe, in the recent past, sometimes your parents will just give you someone to marry. You don't necessarily have to know them or be in love with them, but they believe that after you guys are together, as time passes by, you grow to fall in love with the person. So yeah, that was what the parents advised, and eventually she got married to this ex-boyfriend. But in her, she knows that she doesn't love that guy, and she was even like, he even irritates her, like in terms of touching her and all that kind of stuff. She's irritated by everything the guy does. Okay, so they were married. Yes, is it like a year or two have passed by? So within that marriage, okay, when they started the marriage, she was still talking to the boyfriend, the pastor boyfriend. Have you seen the twist here? She was dating that pastor. She was still dating the pastor and then still agreed to marry the ex-boyfriend. Can you imagine? Was dating the pastor, agreed to marry the ex-boyfriend, and then she even discussed it with the ex-boyfriend whether she should get married to that guy. According to her, the pastor says, no, please do not get married to the guy because I'm in love with you. According to her, when they met, she says it was love at first sight. She says she's an actress and she knows what it means, like what love at first sight means. So, yeah, she can boldly say that they were both in love. Oh my God, quick, you, man. Like, quick, you, my God, Andre King, hello, Andre. Where was I? Yes, it's just to believe that it was love at first sight, right? So yeah, during her marriage, during her marriage with her ex-boyfriend who was living in South Africa, okay? So at the time that she and that pastor were dating, the ex-boyfriend was still living in South Africa. So she was dating this, talking to that guy, and then later the guy came, bought her cars, many gifts to her parents, and then they eventually, she said they pressured her to marry him. So they got married and she was still talking to the pastor. So by this time, the intimate relationship between her and the pastor had ceased, according to her. For intimacy, it had ceased. They were no more intimate, but they leave it. For now, Asia.
Uma pulo.
Buy one alcohol. Don't want you come ya she.
Aba.
Dashi.
Abi analo.
Yo. Swear kwe tamani. It's why it distracting me. Avojo. Okay. Where was I? So they got married and where was I? Where was I? Remind me, okay. Every intimacy between her and the pastor had ceased. Okay? Because the pastor got a bit pissed off when she got married to that guy, because she says the pastor was not in support of it because they were already dating. First of all, they got married, and eventually the guy was beating her again, very toxic. She's like, even before they even broke up from the 2012 relationship, like the ex-boyfriend, the husband now, before they broke up, that guy could call her like 200 times in a row. So that was how much he was stalking her. Okay, even her colleague actors and actresses who, like, they were surprised at how much the guy loved her. But according to her, that was not love. That was just something that she couldn't understand because it was crazy. Oh guys, it's about to rain. Big girl, will you finish at all? I will not finish. Oh. You want me to finish quick? Okay, let me just wrap it up for you because you want it so quick. This is just 30 minutes. Why are you rushing for the thing to end? Why do you want it to end so soon? So I'm patiently waiting when you will mistakenly show me. Yeah, that is why I am very, very careful. I'm careful not to show nothing. Not to show nothing. Joshua Tobago. Oh, welcome. No, I'm talking about the corn. The corn. Oh, I'll finish. They had done most of the work before I came to join them. So it's already done. Okay. So as they were in the marriage with her South African guy. So when she was telling this story, I forgot it. People were asking, but you were dating this pastor from that 2017 to 2019. and then you started talking to your ex-husband too, like dating him too, and eventually got married to you. So does it mean that you were intimate with the pastor and the one your the pastor and your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend? And she was like, no, I wasn't doing that, because at the time my ex-boyfriend, who was now my husband, was living in South Africa. So we were just communicating on the phone until he came back to the giant of Africa to talk to her parents, and also gift her the car so she could agree to marry her. So she was not intimate with the two of them. So now in the marriage, what was happening is that, like, sometimes I don't know, I've not married before, so I'm just guessing that maybe sometimes the main purpose of marrying is to be intimate with your wife or your husband, and eventually maybe you reproduce. I'm guessing, I'm just saying, me, I've done married. And me, if I'll marry, the main purpose for that is to have babies, nothing else. So now they were in that marriage. Now, if the main purpose for getting married to someone is to be intimate and have babies, not that, and do things together, right? They said the two shall become one. So if the two shall become one, she was lying. She said no, she was not doing that. She was not doing that at all. So if the two shall become one, why is it that in this particular relationship, the woman is denying the man his rights? Okay. Yes, because if you deny your husband, he may look elsewhere, and eventually that was what the guy started doing, looking elsewhere. And then they were still fighting. And she is saying that the man was still beating her, and the man was toxic. But I'm just feeling like maybe it's just because she was not in love with the man, so that is why she's making up this narrative that the man was beating her or something, because the way everything seems from her own narrative, she was not in love with the guy. So because of that, denying him of all these things, so the guy too started looking elsewhere. And can you imagine that in that, what do they call it, matrimonial home, this lady was still talking. It got to a time when she broke up with the pastor boyfriend for some time, and she said when the guy started beating her, that was when she started talking to the pastor boyfriend again, and they started dating again. So within the marriage, on her own matrimonial bed, the pastor could call him on the phone, and they would make love on the phone. No, on the phone. And she will be doing things and be taking videos of herself, sending it to the pastor, or they both will be doing and be showing the screen on the phone. Oh baby, can you see me? Yes. Oh, you understand that kind of thing. They were doing it. And no, I told you, no, that was when she now got married, and then the husband was still beating her, and she was not, at this point she was not interested at all. That was when she started doing that with the pastor man, according to her. That was when she started doing that with the pastor boyfriend again. So they were doing that on the phone, and eventually too, the husband got to know that she was talking to someone else. Yeah. Guys, let's go. It's raining. Hey! Hey! Sorry, I didn't leave you. It's raining. It's raining. Let's go. This rain, it's just yeah rain. No. It will not even rain. No. This is how it does always. To just scare you. You'll be running helter skelter. But it will never rain. Can you imagine? It will never rain. It will just drizzle and shower. Oh. Hey, let me go to my tree. Let me go and see under my tree. This thing is making. Hey, please, you are smelling too much. I don't want to. Hey, leave my phone. Leave. No, I'm back though. I'm back already. You know, come and use your body. Oh, but people have left. Where is your husband? No husband. Guys, let's go back to my tree. This rain, I told you. This is how it will force you to be running helter skelter like a mad woman. Meanwhile, nothing is happening. You said I left you. Why would I? The rain, you know, here when rain is coming, the rain is about to fall, and people will be running. But if they see a car coming, they will never run. Can you imagine? They will never run. It's today that the weather has been cloudy. So let's continue. Please, you have to remind me where I stopped. So, where did we stop now? People have run away. Like the way I ran. Where did we stop? So, let's start from. Yeah, like I was saying, the lady was still married. In her marriage, just because she said the husband was beating her, she was not in love with the husband, like she's irritated by the husband, so she again started dating the pastor. And the pastor, Mamaga, says it. They started dating the pastor again in their matrimonial home. She was, like I said, they were doing phone whatever, and in that in the matrimonial home. This was started. Minyoga feel. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. So she was still cheating on the husband with the pastor, but not physically, but on the phone. And so eventually, one day, Klikoto Wukata for Mr. Elijah. Yeah, Wukata for Wukata for Wukata for. So one day, she was like, the pastor, the husband, beat her again, and she left home. She left home. They were in. I don't know whether they were in Abuja or something. So she left home to the pastor's place in Lagos, stayed there for some time, and again came back to the husband's home. So when she came home, she found a lady with the husband at home. The lady was pregnant for the husband. Okay, and she had an altercation with the husband, and eventually the husband, the lady left. The lady left, and she was still there dating the two men, the husband and the boyfriend, the pastor boyfriend, and eventually she now had to pack because she said the husband had beaten her again. She now had to pack and now go to the pastor like entirely. They met. They traveled to the pastor's village. Some village, is it? They mentioned some name. Traveled to the village where she was able to meet the pastor's parents. Kind of like an introduction, but not the one with dowries and everything. Just showing you like, oh, this is my mother and everything. Went to the family house and even. Shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation. Hey! Hey! Malaria. Ah. Majaga ulu. Cerap. Jaga kan. This rain is something else. Enggak. Ada jaga. Oh. Maybe I jaga. This story they will end tomorrow. Will end tomorrow. Rain, bless us with your fall. BVM the poet. The reason why I don't want to sit here is because of the radio. The radio will be making noise. That's why I prefer where I was sitting. But let's continue. So now eventually this lady, now left the husband entirely and moved the first time they went to the pastor's village, they showed, introduced her to the pastor's family and all that. And eventually, she now moved to Lagos. I don't know when she moved, she was staying with the pastor or something, but I guess she was staying alone. And then she was dating the pastor, like dating. Do you understand? To the point that she believed that, she and the pastor will end up in marriage. But lo and behold, that didn't happen. But let's continue. That was never the pastor's plan, I just go rain, go away, come again another day. Little children want to pray, play, but I don't know about this one. We are telling you I've bathed already. Those carry already. Looking for. This kid is for this dog. It's for the dog. I don't want Sala. I'm baffed. I don't want to scam. YouTube doesn't like that. Please don't let me whip you. Don't let me whip you. So guys, did you know what happened? In my, is it like in my tradition or something, when they are telling stories, it gets to a point you have to pause the story, and then the people listening, your audience, will sing. You raise us, Frank Don, Hosi bye bye. Oh, why? You raise a song and everybody will sing the song before you continue. So the pastor had another woman. Wait, why are you rushing? Why are you rushing? Wait. So the pastor was dating this guy. The pastor, at the time, the pastor has become very popular, okay? The pastor was popular, like he's a popular pastor in that country. And this lady too is an actress. So the pastor's intention was to use the lady, because the lady too is popular. The pastor wanted to use her for more audience and some dubious stuff, So it got to a time, this pastor, a friend of this pastor, okay, who is also a pastor, was on the verge of being exposed. I'm sorry, the story is getting good. A friend of this pastor was on the verge of being exposed. Oh, Shark Waters, no problem. Good to have you here. Oh, okay, I'm happy to have you, Shark Waters. I saw your this thing. You made a comment under my post. Yeah, I'll respond. Okay, I've just been busy this morning. Sorry about that. No problem. You can always join. Okay. So this pastor, like I was saying, this pastor had a friend pastor who is also like popular, like big in the country, and he was on the verge of being exposed by, I don't know whether that person was a church member, but then according to the lady, that guy who wanted to expose the other pastor was a blogger. He was a blogger. So do you know what they did? So the two pastors connived with the lady, and then they set the blogger up. Okay, this blogger, I think, did they say that the blogger was living in South Africa or something? But then I'm not using any names, so it doesn't matter whether it's correct or. Okay, Shark Waters, I'll send you an email. Okay, I'll send you an email. So they have, planned to expose, to blackmail the blogger who wanted to expose the pastor, the girl's boyfriend's friend, like the pastor friend. Hey, go. You hey, you there, you can come. But you are too strong for my phone. You let it fall. Okay, bye. So, do you know what they did? They bought a ticket for the girl. She traveled to the country that the blogger was living in. Live. The blogger was living in, and they set her up. Okay, the purpose was for her to go and seduce the guy. So eventually she succeeded. She succeeded in seducing the guy, as in she presented herself such that the guy fell in love with the lady, the pastor's girlfriend. Okay, so one will be imagining if a guy falls in love with you. Okay, anyway, let me just leave that part. The guy fell in love with her, and subsequently they were very close, and everything that they were doing, when you become close to someone, you feel like, okay, you can trust the person, and you start telling the people stuff. So this guy was telling this lady everything, not knowing the lady was recording everything, like recorded everything from this blogger guy who wanted to expose this pastor. Okay, so they did that, and they gathered the information, everything, and later on she sent all this information she gathered from this blogger guy, and they used it against him. They said they presented it to Interpol or something, Interpol. So eventually they sued this guy, and the expose that he wanted to do on the pastor has become an expose on him himself, because he had been blackmailed by that. Everything that happened between her and the lady, they used it to blackmail him, the blogger, so he couldn't do the expose. But within that, during that time, because of the work the lady did for these two pastors, they have decided that they had to, give her something, okay? Because she has worked, it was work. If it was you, pastor, they would have exposed you all the bad things, I used to do. I do them no more. He was still doing it too. It wasn't like he had stopped doing all the bad things that they wanted to expose him for. So because of that, the way I know Nigeria, someone has already made the movie. Maybe they will do it. Maybe the lady herself is an actor, so she may use it for the story. So they promised that when the lady finished doing the work, because it was a contract, everything, they signed stuff. I think they had an agreement that if you do this, this is what will happen. So they decided to buy a car for the lady. And they asked her which car she wanted. She mentioned a type of car, and they were like, that was too expensive, they couldn't afford it. And later on, eventually, they agreed upon Mercedes. So they said the Mercedes was about so many million naira. Okay, but then, the pastor, her pastor boyfriend, did not allow the lady, to have the pastor she was working for, the one that he had to go and blackmail the blogger for, the blogger who wanted to expose that pastor. He didn't allow her to have his number. I don't know if you get what I mean. I hate noise. I hate noise, guys. I checked up my job. Noise. So you know what they did? You know what they did? This pastor didn't allow the lady to have his friend's number. So he was like the betweener. Like the man in the middle. That's what we call it in IT security. Stop following me. He was like the man in the middle. Hey, no, I told you, I don't know. I have to bath you. I don't like the way you smell. Everywhere I pass, you want to follow me. After all, my name is Trot. You know, right? That radio was making noise in my ears. I don't like it. So they agreed that they would buy the lady a Mercedes. A Mercedes. So they said it was about how many? A lot of, is it 30 something million naira or 300,000 something million naira? But when the pastor, the lady's boyfriend, who is the pastor, didn't allow his friend pastor to have, like, they don't share contacts. So he was acting as the middleman between his girlfriend and his friend pastor. So when they did a conference call. So on the conference call, they agreed that, okay, they agreed upon the Mercedes Benz, and the pastor, the lady's boyfriend, pastor boyfriend, was like, okay, please, pastor friend, send the money for the Mercedes into my account. At that point, the lady didn't really know why he asked him to send the money to his account. So after the call, he confronted the pastor boyfriend, and he was like, oh, that pastor, I don't want you to have his number because, he is known for impregnating women anyhow. He will go to other people's church and go and impregnate the ladies over there, something of that sort. So I don't want you to, share your contacts with him. So if anything, he will send me the money and I'll give the money to you. But guess what happened? They paid. One thing you have to know too is that all through this relationship, this pastor, who had a lot of followers in his church, had never given this lady any money. The lady had never asked her any money, and he also has not thought it wise to give her any gift or anything, of monetary value. So it was just raw knack, nothing, just raw friendship, dating, intimacy, no, nothing of that sort. So for the first time, the lady says, when they paid the money into this guy's account, anytime as a pastor boyfriend, okay, has your friend give you the money? I'm calling your friend to pay me, but he's not, responding. What's going on? And then this one too will tell him stories. Has he paid you the money? And he'll be like, no, he hasn't paid me. Meanwhile, the friend had paid him the money. He had paid him everything. He had paid him. He didn't want to owe the lady no money because he knows the value of what the lady had done for him. So he was, how will I say it? Fine. For lack of, uh, you know, for lack of enough words, he know the value of what the lady had done, so he made it a point to pay everything, but to this pastor's account, because the pastor didn't allow the girlfriend to give him her number. So anytime the lady will ask the pastor boyfriend for the money, story. So he gave him only one day. He gave her only 15,000, like 15,000 naira or something, or 150,000 naira, something of that. I can't really mention the real amounts, but he gave him just a small amount of that money, saying that this is what the guy has paid. Meanwhile, around that time, the guy had paid everything. So she took that money, and one day she wanted to travel. She wanted to travel outside the country, but she didn't have enough money. And I think it was for business, and she needed that money urgently. So he went to the pastor boyfriend and asked him, okay, your friend Jeremiah, oh Jesus, your friend is not paying me the money. Anytime I can't reach him, I don't know what's happening. Have you received the money? He said no, he has not given me any money. So the girl told him that, okay, I want to travel and I need some money to travel, so can you help me with some money? And he was like, oh, I do not have any money. Due to the hotel that I'm building a hotel, so I've spent everything I have on that project, so so I do not have any money. I've also borrowed a lot of money from the bank, I'm just broke. Bottom line, I'm broke. And the lady was like, she couldn't understand. For all these years that we have been dating, I have never in my life asked you for anything. And the first time I ask you for something, buy me this ticket or give me this amount, you are telling me stories. Okay, no problem. So eventually he just bought the lady just that ticket, like just mere ticket, because he said he didn't have money, so he gave her 300,000 naira or something, and then she used that to travel. So she continued chasing, the money for that Mercedes Benz car, and it was not forthcoming. So eventually he had to call that pastor who she worked for, his brother who lives somewhere outside of Africa, in Germany or something. In Germany. So they had to do a conference call. He called the pastor's brother, and eventually the brother had to call the pastor, but not knowing, like, they were all on the phone. So he asked his brother, this is what this lady is telling me about you. She said she did this work for you, you promised to give her this amount for a car, and you end up not giving her the money. What's happening? And the pastor was like, oh, ask your boyfriend. I've given him all the money. It didn't keep long. It didn't take much time before I paid all the money into his account. And the lady was dumbfounded. Like, seriously, you paid him the money, and anytime I ask him, you'll be telling me stories. Oh my God, this is just uncalled for. So at that point, they have to call the pastor, like a conference call. It is pastor, so I don't know everything pastor. At that point, they have to call this pastor and his friend pastor. They were all on the phone, like his cohort. They were all on the phone. You didn't know that the lady was there. They were asking, the pastor who paid the money was like, oh, pastor, this is what your lady is talking about, that the money I paid, she didn't get the money. What do you have to say about that? And now he started fumbling. Oh, I'm sorry, I used the money for my hotel that I'm building, like the project that I'm doing. So give me some time, I'll pay you back. Don't pay me back. Oh, the money, the person who is supposed to get the money is here. So talk to the person. Now he started begging the lady and all that kind of stuff. He said he'll pay this lady, and because of that money, the relationship, because it became something that's always having a litigation about that money, and the pastor too didn't want to pay her, and the lady has to come even on social media to call him out and say what this pastor boyfriend has done to her. But at that time, I don't think she said that the pastor was his boyfriend and everything. So because of that, the pastor started threatening her. Okay, started threatening her, and the lady said eventually, because of that money, because the brother of the lady now involved himself, and because of that money, the brother had passed on, because the pastor had gone to do something spiritual on the brother. So the brother eventually she lost her brother in the process. Can you imagine? A whole pastor refused to pay the lady. All this thing went on, and the lady said since she had been with that pastor, her life has never been the same. Like everything, her sex, everything around her financials and everything had never been the same again. So, and do you know what else this pastor did to this lady? Hey, people can be wicked though. Someone who was living in a husband's house, you will call her with phone and say that you should make love on the phone so that she will show you things. At the end, he went to reveal all her naked videos that he has been showing to this pastor. He went to reveal the naked video. Reveal this lady's naked video in public, just to in public, and also to a lawyer, because they sued each other for the for a whole lot, the money and everything. They sued each other. So eventually, recently, this pastor also announced that he was getting married. Not necessarily announced, he proposed to his girlfriend, who was a member of his old church, and was giving the lady a ring. So when this lady saw this thing on social media, she broke down and came out on social media and was crying mercilessly, like crying. It was like I don't know. I thought maybe what she has cried, it was not even rivers, the whole water body in the entire world. She was crying and calling this pastor out that, hey, you cannot leave me and marry someone else. Oh. You cannot leave me. This marriage will not work. Oh. You cannot leave me and marry some other lady. And everybody was like, but if you see, because of this pastor, your life was destroyed, your brother died, and the pastor is diabolic, he even took your money, why would you want this pastor to get married to you? Why are you crying over him marrying someone else? It's just like, I'm not crying because I want him to marry me. I'm crying because I do not like form of revenge. Like she has already started revenging. Like, if he has destroyed her life, okay, the miscarriages that she had during that relationship, and also the pastor coming out to say that she had done an abortion, meanwhile she knew that it was a miscarriage, destroying his name, destroying her name and defaming her, she will not allow her to get married to another woman. But lo and behold, that lady that pastor wanted to marry again, it's not because the pastor loved that lady. According to sources, even from the main lady, she's saying that lady is just because the pastor got her pregnant. That is why, they are doing, that, introduction in public, that he wanted to marry this lady. And everyone is saying, fine. Whether he made him pregnant or whatever, it's simply because that pastor, in the first place, he is just with you just because you are a celebrity, and he knew what he could gain from you, and he just lured you into this relationship and just used you for nothing. And even on top, he took your money. That's the most painful part. That's the most painful part. And on top, that is just the icing on the cake itself, is that your brother had to even leave this world just because of that pastor. Can you imagine? Because he owed you, and for you to take your money, your brother has to pass on. Now it's left with just you. You lost your brother just because of that simple relationship. Okay, so now the case is still on. They are still the lady is still in her revenge mode. She wants to revenge. She's like, hey pastor, there is no way you are going to marry that lady. You cannot destroy my life. I left my husband for you, and you I was in love with you. You used me, and now you have to go and marry another person. The pastor in his church was preaching that, hey, the last time that pastor preached was like, you will move from men to men, and now come to me to abuse Sam, and because I've used Sam, I have to marry you. It will not happen. I'm like, hey, I'm like, look at this pastor. What kind of I'm not even call you a pastor. And that's why believing in pastor is crampon. Me myself, it takes me so much time to believe something, to just believe. It's not easy for me to just say that whatever when it comes to this spirituality thing, oh no, religion and everything. Me, I want to go and see the thing for myself. What you are saying, I'm not just believing even if you prophesy, it will pass here and it is coming here. It is coming here. Let me dream. Let me have my own dream. My own dreams are even better than you telling me any prophecy or whatever. You understand? I know there are pastors who are not fake and we have fake ones also. Sometimes you have to read the life, that like how the person is living their lives. Okay? You have to read that also. What has the person done? Like even look at the pastor had. Look at what he used you to do. That alone should teach you a lesson that, hey, if this person had was able to get all these women pregnant or doing this to these married women, and on top of that someone just wants to expose him and he's using me to blackmail that person that he had hurt. So you can imagine what that person can do to you. That alone should tell you that no, this relationship I should be out. But then she was still there. I'm not judging her. I'm not judging her because when you are sometimes you can stupidly be in love. So no judgment at all. No judgment at all. Yes, so yes, the only person you trust is you. I understand. But sometimes you can easily trust someone, but not a pastor. Not a pastor. As for me, a pastor, dear, I like simple pastors. So. Churches, that is why me, I like my Catholic. I like EP churches, like all this, simple. You go and you go and do your thing and come back. Amen. You come back home. No wala, nothing. Catholic, global, EP, Anglican. Those you go and you are free. You go and you are free. If you want all these charismatic, when they are doing their crusades and things, you can go listen to good music and come back home. But for me, for me, dear, no. So this was what this pastor did to this lady. Okay. In fact, the end of the story is just that right now, the lady says she's revenging. Revenging. You are not going to marry that lady. You have to come and marry me. So, what is your thought? The public has a lot of views on this matter. Okay? They are saying that if this pastor is that wicked, just leave him alone. Let that lady also have a taste of the kind of human being that he is. But if he has anything to pay you, let him just. I don't know whether they are still on the internet. I don't know. Me, I've not seen it. I don't look for those things. She told her story herself. Is about an hour story, an hour and a half story. That me, I've just summarized it and I've told you. Okay, so that's the how this lady had ended. Nika. Oh, but I walk with This is how this lady's relationship had ended with this pastor. And anyway, I understand the fact that she said her husband was beating her. If anyone is beating you, there's no need to stay with that person just because you are married to the person. What if the person leaves you? What if the person finishes you? Okay, so I understand that part, that she said she's not in love with that her first husband, and that the first husband too, it was not like marriage by ordinance. Also, it was just a traditional marriage that they performed, and people are saying that they are not like truly divorced. They did not present the dowries back to the man or something. I don't know how true that is, but that is how everything had ended. Bloggers are still following that story. Oh, guys, let me know your thoughts about this story. Like, I have a lot of stories in my mind, like real life stories. Like, when I hear these things, I just laugh. I'm like, hey, things are happening in this world, though. If you haven't experienced it, just keep quiet. These were the only things she said, though. Only God knows what else those pastors, used her to do. Only God knows. Only God knows. The whole situation is diabolic. I know, right? Because come to think of it, she even lost her brother. And if I tell you how she narrated how the brother passed on, it's extremely diabolic. It was when this brother, confronted this pastor for her money. That was when he got sick, like the body, her whole body, his whole body, like the leg, got swollen. He was living elsewhere, and she had to buy him a ticket to come to her. And when the brother came to her, it didn't keep long before he passed on. The whole body got swollen, and the brother passed on. That was how the brother passed on. Hey, people are wicked, though. Some of us, we are just wicked. We are just wicked with our mouth. As we say it today, tomorrow, no, we are forgotten. But people are wicked. Wicked. The lady is saying that the only thing that is the problem now is that she cannot prove spiritual things. She cannot explain how diabolic the pastor is because she can't prove spiritual stuff. So there are some things when they happen, you want to talk about it. The next person may not really understand what you are saying. Be like, this is trivial, but to you, you know that no, it's not trivial. It is something that is very, important to you. Something you care so much about. That's something that concerns you. So, yeah. Fake miracles. I know, right? I know. And in the giant of Africa too, oh my God, pastors there are so loud. And they have a lot of crowd, And that's why this guy, VDM was saying that, this lady, you alone, you cannot fight this pastor. You can't fight this pastor because he has a lot of followers. But then, VDM made a video, is it yesterday? He was calling out this pastor who was impregnating women and leaving them. When they do these things to you and you want to call them out, they threaten you. You understand? Or sometimes they can use officials on you. You can use these security officials on you and everything. So some people are not able to talk. So under this guy's video, when you check there, people were like, "Ish." Someone even said, "Oh, I know somebody who this pastor has done this thing to," and he was asking for your number, and I told him I do not know your contact. So if I should bring them, this guy was like, "Anybody, if you know that this pastor has abused you before, come to me, and I'll help you fight him." And people were like, "Oh, they don't necessarily even need to come to you. You can just do a video call with them and blur their faces. Don't show their faces and anything." I check Agoda. Don't show their faces. Don't reveal their identity. So that is how people are suffering, just in the name of pastor. People are going through things. So people are going. Me, the way things. If someone betrays me, the way it hurts me. Hey, I can't. If I trust you and you do this kind of thing to me, I will not ask you for money, and you are taking my money on top. if I ask you for the manual, you want to finish me and finish even my entire family line. Why? Why? I always wonder. But African and people have a soul hunger too. And if not fed well, pastors take advantage and fill it with their garbage. Hey, maybe I should tell another story. So let me know your comments. What is your thoughts about this story? I don't know whether you have gotten the import of this story, whether my narration was good enough. Maybe I was all over the place. Always nourish your soul. DVM is preaching. Always nourish your soul so that you do not become thirsty. Nourish your soul. Sometimes if you love someone, like, I don't know how to put it, one-sided love, you alone are in love, that is what happens to you. You are loving and not using your head. You are loving and not using your head. Maybe you are loving maybe because of the status of the person or something, I don't know. Not using your head, maybe the person is using you just because you are popular. And they know what they can gain from your popularity and your personality. They just know what you can do. After all, you're an actress. If you're an actor, they can use you for so many. How will I say it? How will I even put it? You know you can act. Like to go and seduce that. Yeah, so she was like, oh, it was love at first sight. They all fell in love. They all fell in love because in the beginning, I don't know whether the pastor knew she was an actress, but she said when she met the pastor, she never knew he was a pastor. It was later that they started dating before she knew he was a pastor. And before she even knew that he was a pastor, one day he invited her to a location. Okay, so when he got to that location, then he realized that, oh, it was a church that he had invited her to. So that was the first time he had invited her out. And when she got to the location, it was a church. Okay, so why would you not trust this person? La vogue, la tomate. Okay, we do have seen in Zimbabwe. Much love from Tabonga, Cape Town, South Africa. Wow. You understand? So when she says love at first time, sometimes I understand her because according to her, she said even that's her ex-boyfriend. She has never been in love with him, but he was the person all over her. Understand? Human beings, most of us, we like things that we can chase, but not things that are chasing us. Even women chase. Love, and especially men, they love things that they can chase, but then women also do chase too. You have to know. You can be chasing a woman now, but she's chasing someone else. Hey, that is I don't know. I do not know. Twins, see you later. All right, DVM, thank you for staying through. And I like your comments. Thank you for staying, DVM. So this was what this pastor did. Now she has left this lady heartbroken. See, the lady says she has sued the pastor in court. She has sued the pastor that for damages because the pastor had promised her marriage. because the pastor had promised her marriage and did not marry her, so she had sued the pastor. And I'm like, hey, do we have something like that? Wow. I was surprised that you can just sue somebody because the person promised that they'll marry you. Maybe that promise should be in writing, no. If it is verbal, unless you have recorded it before you can, if you cannot prove it in court that the person had promised you marriage, then how can you win that case? When you just go there and say the person we're dating and he promised to marry me, how will you prove that to the court? But according to the lady, she has, receipts of most of the things that happened between them. So she has proof of everything, and her lawyers are working on it. So I'm like, okay, if they can sue for marriage, then a lot of people will sue because someone has promised to marry and they didn't marry you, so you have to sue the person in court. Hey, then a lot of people will do this suing if you have the money. Because can you imagine the number of people who have been promised marriages and they kept waiting on that one person because the person had promised them marriage, and anybody, they will have so many suitors, but then they will reject them because that person promised marriage, and eventually that person that promised you that marriage will not marry you, go and marry another person with all the times that the person had made you wasted. If they can sue, a lot of people will sue. I never knew that you can sue for such a thing. I'm just ignorant. But now I know, because ladies go through this kind of things a lot. We have some loyal ladies in Africa. Most African ladies can be very loyal, especially where I'm coming from. Yes. So far as that man told you, okay, fine, we are dating, I'll marry you. They will not look, you can be whatever, they will not accept you. They will, in their mind, they know that, they have someone there who would eventually come and marry them, and they will be rejecting all the suitors. Now, you do all this, they waste time, then you go and marry another person. How cruel. How cruel can that be? Oh, okay. I hope I'm not showing. User KG. Inversion. Is it Iverson? Hi. I say thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. Do you want another story? You guys are not sharing your thoughts on that story. What do you think? Is the lady right to say that, I'm suing him? Does it make sense to you that, I'm suing him because he promised me marriage and now he is engaged to another lady? Don't you think that she's just heartbroken and, acting out of emotions, and when all those emotions clear off her face, sometimes she may regret, why was I even crying over this person? Don't you think so? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But was it fair for the pastor also to behave that way? Was it fair? And was it fair for the other pastor to use her to blackmail someone that the other pastor too has, mistreated, and they wanted to expose him? These are all the things that happen behind closed doors with our pastors, most of them. This is just the one that has come out. The ones that are still in closed chambers. You cannot even fathom if they should tell you. Okay. Ooh, I forgot to know. Did you know that this pastor had even married before? The pastor was married and was divorced though, with 2 children. With 2 children. With all that, you should be doing your background check. Since you were close to this person, you could be doing your background check. What happened before the first wife left him, and now he's dating me? Although he knew I've gone to marry, but then even I was with my husband, somebody who called himself a pastor is still, having an intimate relationship with me, although I'm still married, and he has promised me marriage. Hey, is this for real? Like, your mind you should be asking a lot of questions. You should be asking a lot of questions. Hey, this man is married though. The man has left him. He has 2 children. And I've started dating him. And now me too, I'm dating him. I'm going to marry another man. Although we are still dating. They just said it lightly. Oh, don't marry him. But then I went ahead and married him. After some time, he stopped talking to me. After some time, but he started talking to me again. And I was cheating on my husband with him. And he knows that I'm married. Hey, and he's promising me marriage. Hey, this man, is this possible? There's that when you are in the real situation, the questions will not come. It is when you are analyzing someone's story that you'll be thinking about you'll be feeling like, oh, if it were you, you would have acted differently. But maybe if it were you guy, you would have even acted more foolishly. But just because it's not you right now, you'll be feeling like the other person is stupid. But then you were not the person wearing those shoes. You should find your leg in the same shoes. Then you can really tell your own story. What 33 minutes. Today the rain the rain doesn't. Listen, why have I put it on the floor? Today the rain on Tijai. It's on and off. But I like it this way because the way the sun can be really scorchy these days, it amazes me. It amazes me now. And if in Ghana the sun was really hot that way, you can imagine how it will be in Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, and all those places. I mean, those places, oh my God. They are really in hell right now. Because that place, the sun can be really scorchy. Like their weather, very arid. Dried air. Humid. Hello. Fika mi kona nyeru. Angu mi kona rama. Little care. Okay. So this red to white. Where? Ow. Uh-huh. Go ahead, Ojo. Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay. I'll be back. Hey guys, thank you for listening to my story. Enjoy. Oh, please like my video. Oh, all of you people, please like the video. Let me get 21 likes, then I'll end it. Please. Let me check the time. I want to post my video. Oh, my phone is getting me. Please like my video if you haven't liked already. Please like so that I'll end it. Please give me a like now. Or you did not like the story I told. You didn't like my storyline. That's why you didn't like the video. Likey. One like now. Add one like. Someone just joined. Please give me a like so that I'll get 18 likes. Then I'll close it. Please. Please. And subscribe. Oh, please, I beg you. Subscribe and, on the notification bell. So that when I post a video, you get notified. So that you receive an alert. Oh, please. One person should like my video. I just want another one like, then I'll end it. Or you mean everybody had liked already? If that's the case, thank you for watching. I'll see you some other time. I appreciate your time and everything. God bless you. God bless Africa and wherever you find yourself. Okay, see you again.